Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're continuing on with some concepts, something I used to do in the past. So we have a list of 6 different Dodge Durango concept vehicles that I wanted to dig up and share with you, all of them just a single copy produced by Chrysler themselves. We'll start with the original concept in 2003 and move up chronologically from there. Hope you enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. This video begins with the concept for the second generation Durango, the 2003 Hemi RT. This debuted at the 2003 North American International Auto Show, and Chrysler went all out on the design to preview what was to come. Some have said it looked like the SUV version of the Dodge Magnum wagon, with a familiar Dodge crosshair grille and wraparound and over headlights. Dodge drew inspiration from many concepts like the 1999 Power Wagon, 2000 Max Cab, and 2001 Powerbox concept, taking design elements from all of those while making sure you know that it's a Dodge from afar. At the time, it was a unique silhouette among SUVs, with short overhangs, pronounced wheel flares, dropped shoulders, and a dramatically sloping windshield. It was finished in liquid graphite metallic paint, with satin silver accents and a mean dual nostril hood. Of course, it was naturally bulkier than the previous Durango, as it was 7 inches longer, 3 inches taller, and 4.5 inches wider. Dodge also beefed up the look by throwing on some 21-inch wheels, with 265/50/21 Goodyear HP tires. Moving to the rear, it has awesome afterburner taillights that were also found on that 1999 Power Wagon concept, along with a satin diffuser and satin aluminum dual exhaust tips. The interior was also bigger than its predecessor, with a 15% cargo capacity increase, seating for 7, and the ability to carry 48-inch wide sheets of plywood between the wheel wells. A two-tone look is used, with the seats and doors finished in dark slate gray leather with adobe accents. While those colors didn't end up in the production version, similar ones were found later in the Jeep Commander. The leather-wrapped steering wheel featured a nice 4-spoke design with 3 white gauges behind it. It also had an LCD screen, as Chrysler was trying to show off their tech, including navigation, Bluetooth for cell phones, and Sirius satellite radio. Pretty good for 2003. It also had other premium features like a DVD entertainment system, tri-zone climate control, and heated seats. The powertrain is familiar. Under the hood, the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 replaced the previous 5.9-liter V8 with 345 horsepower and 375 pound-feet of torque, paired with the 545 RFE 5-speed automatic transmission. So that pretty much remained unchanged when it carried over to the production version. This concept had full-time 4-wheel drive with an independent front suspension and solid rear axle with coil springs and a Watts link system on the rear axle. It was cool to hear some of the words of automotive journalists at the time who were excited about the prospect of something like this actually being sent to production. For 2004, Dodge did release a pretty similar version as that second-gen Durango. Just a year later, Dodge was back at it again with another sweet Durango concept, the 2004 Dude. This was meant to be a hot rod street truck. The Skunk Works team, part of the Chrysler Group, converted a regular Durango into this unique pickup truck and took that concept to the 2004 SEMA show. They were inspired by the Viper-powered Ram SRT-10, and they set out to make something similar. It was still powered by the 5.7-liter Hemi V8, also getting a catback dual exhaust, custom front and rear fascias, sill extensions, and a composite hood. The truck was lowered and then put on 20-inch Budnik billet wheels. The inside got custom Lear seats. The most striking feature of the entire truck was the PPG Tangerine Pearl paint. Unfortunately, the truck was 2 cylinders and 2.6 liters away from the SRT-10 territory, and while Chrysler did toy with the idea of making this a production vehicle, and never made it, and of course this is the only one to ever be produced. Dodge discontinued the second-generation Durango after the 2009 model year, but it wasn't gone for too long. The third-generation production started on December 14th of 2010, but before that, Dodge brought a concept to the 2010 SEMA show. Mopar took a Citadel, which would be the top trim level for 2011, and added some features and accessories to it. It may not seem like much, but at the time this was the brand new Durango and was exciting for all Mopar fans. They called this one Black and Tan, as it had black exterior paint with stunning Napa leather tan-colored seats in the interior, as you can see by the shots on screen, showing off that all-new interior of the third gen at the time. The Black and Tan sits on 22-inch custom forged aluminum super alloy polished wheels that look really fantastic on this model, wrapped in Pirelli tires. The SUV sits lower too, as it has Mopar lowering springs. Other features included a Corsa custom exhaust, stainless steel exhaust tips, and unique grille inserts. Under the hood, you can find the updated Eagle 5.7-liter Hemi V8 with 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. As I mentioned, this was a good chance for Mopar to try to sell some accessories, so they added on chrome tube steps, a bike carrier, a kayak carrier, and a couple of software packages. 1 year later, Dodge was back with another concept at the 2011 SEMA show, the tow hook concept by Mopar. This was Halloween themed as SEMA started just the day after. I'm not sure why Mopar created this, maybe just to have some fun with the Durango, but it's a striking vehicle with 4-coat orange paint. Contrasting the paint are lots of black accents, like a piano black split crosshair grille, and satin black roof and hood graphics, as well as smoked out headlights and taillights. The Durango also gets an orange tow hook, fitting for its name, although they didn't specify just how much it could tow. The concept sits on 22-inch forged alloy wheels with one spoke matching the paint job. It also sits nice with the suspension lowered by an inch. The interior has a few changes as well, where the orange and black theme continues. Mopar added perforated black seats that were wrapped in catskin leather, with orange stitching, piping, and trim pieces. The seat inserts are covered with Barracuda suede covers, and that orange treatment also continues onto the center armrest and the door panels. The tow hook also got an SRT steering wheel, aluminum foot pedals, black chrome trim around the vents, and piano white trim around the center console bezels. As for the performance, again the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 was used, as it was the top engine available at the time for the Durangos. The horsepower was boosted a bit though, with a Mopar custom mandrel bent exhaust system, with Corsa mufflers and tips. Next up we have the 2016 Dodge Durango Shaker, the first and only time a Shaker hood has really been shown on a Durango, as well as the first time that Mopar toyed with the idea of putting a 6.4-liter Hemi into the Durango. FCA brought this out to the 2016 SEMA show, and at that point, Mopar enthusiasts had waited a long time in hopes of seeing a real true Dodge performance SUV. The Shaker hood sits on top of the 6.4-liter Hemi, making 475 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque stock, but probably making just a bit more here, as there is a Mopar cold air intake and a catback exhaust with a unique dual exit located right in the center of the back end, instead of on the sides like the other Durangos. The hood and the Shaker are finished in satin black, providing a nice contrast to the bright B5 blue paint. The black and blue theme continues, with black side sills, a black fuel filler door taken from a Challenger, smoked taillights, blue mirror caps, and a blue custom rear spoiler that gives the SUV a longer, lower appearance. The front end gets a honeycomb grille, big front chin splitter, and a new lower valence where they've stuck Challenger Hellcat lights into the fog light area. Those are the ones with the intakes in the middle of them to get more air to the engine. Massive 22 by 10.5 inch Mopar wheels sit under the custom fender flares, with 305mm tires and 6-piston Brembo calipers, and the truck is also lowered by 3 inches from a standard V6 Durango. Dodge added American flag decals to complete the look. The inside gets really special treatment as Dodge has replaced all 3 rows with some extra Viper seats that they had lying around, trimmed in catskin leather with B5 blue stitching. Other additions include a Charger SRT steering wheel, B5 blue bezels, Charger T-shifter, and some Mopar accessories like bright door sill guards, wireless charger, pedal kit, and emergency kit. When asked about the possibility of production at the time, Dodge boss Tim Kuniskis told the Detroit News that, quote, "Because of the reaction, we have decided we should look at it. When we took it to SEMA, it was never even a consideration," end quote. However, he did worry about demand because the people that attend the SEMA show are usually not your typical SUV buyers. As I said, people had wanted to see a Dodge performance SUV for a while now, and while the Shaker didn't end up coming to fruition on the Durangos, it was a sign of things to come, and many of the concept's features would find their way to the 2018 to present SRT models. Last on today's list is a Dodge Durango Hellcat red-eye that's called the Speed Trap. This was also a precursor to the Durango Hellcat, although as of 2023 we still haven't seen a red-eye model yet. This was built for the 2019 One Lap of America, which is a motorsports event in the United States that's held annually since 1984. It's meant to be a race across the country, but speed limits are respected and the races occur at different racetracks. The field is divided into classes based on things like price and number of doors. The competitors can make any modifications they want to their vehicles as long as it remains street legal, and they must run the whole event on one set of tires. So for the 2019 One Lap of America, Dodge built this custom Durango SRT with the 797 horsepower, 6.2-liter high-output supercharged V8 found under the hood, taken from the Hellcat Red Eye, and the 8-speed automatic transmission and SRT all-wheel drive system remained untouched from the regular Durango SRT. The car is also decked out in police trim, hence the name Speed Trap. This was more of a play on words, as I said you can actually exceed the speed limits on these races. Dodge also added many upgrades, like a free-flowing catback exhaust, Cook's long tube headers, high-flowing catalytic converters, Bilstein adaptive damping shocks, and Mopar performance lowering springs, reducing the height by 15 millimeters. The wheels are 20 by 11 inches with 305/35 R20 per LEP0 tires, and beneath them are massive 15.75-inch front Brembo rotors with 6-piston calipers and 13.78-inch rear Brembos with 4-piston calipers. The Speed Trap also had the second and third row seats removed, replaced with a 4-point roll bar and a 5-point driver safety harness. Unfortunately, the performance numbers were never released. It was made clear that this was a one-off concept, but like the Shaker, this was also a sign of things to come for the Durango, and in any case, it's an awesome concept to see and looks incredibly fast at the drag strip. So that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I tried to give you as many details as possible on each model covered. Let me know which one was your favorite down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.